What's up with it, y'all? Uh, this is actually my second attempt at doing this. This is actually my second attempt at doing this live stream. I know when I did it the first time last night, for one thing, y'all couldn't see me, and another thing, um, I tried using my computer webcam. It wasn't that good, so excuse me. So I'm gonna try again now, and just see how this one goes. Now, obviously, as y'all could tell by the title, y'all know what this video is gonna be about already. So, because of that, I didn't need a description. So, I'm just gonna get into it. I am Offset Nate. I am a 21-year-old rapper from Texas. I'm not gonna say which city though, cause I don't want any of y'all motherfuckers watching YouTube, especially any of y'all young cats, trying to know my precise location. Cause you gotta watch out when you on something like this, man, like YouTube and stuff. You gotta watch out, cause there are a couple snakes in the grass who like to stalk you. Um, but I'm not gonna allow that to happen. So, anyway, um, I'm 21 from Texas, and I am one half of a record label that I created myself, which is Lift High Entertainment, and it consists of two people, me and another artist who's a real good friend of mine who goes by the name of ASAP Vrillo. Uh, as of right now, we are a duo, but eventually I do plan on having more people, but it's just us right now. Um, I started rapping when I was 9 years old, so that was back in 2006. That was back in 2006, and I've been going ever since. Now, the reason I started rapping, I'm not gonna get into too much detail on that, but I will say that during that time, I was going through a couple things, and I needed something to use as an outlet to get away from it. And I grew up always having love for music, so I moved in with my dad and my grandparents, and I was looking for an outlet to get away from what I went through when I was younger, and that just happened to be music. Now, in those days, we didn't have what we have now. We didn't have the smartphones where you can type your lyrics onto the note app of your smartphone. You wanted to write lyrics, you would have to use a pen and pad. Whether it's a pen and a 70 page notebook, 180, whatever. Well, and we also didn't have the new state of the art game systems. We didn't have the Xbox One. We didn't have the Xbox 360 up until 2 years after I started rapping, which I believe it came out in 2008. So we didn't have all the stuff we got now. So back at that time, we had the PS2 as a game system. And one of the games that I had on mine was Street Hoops, which basically was a video game consisting of street basketball. And I remember I used to like one song in specific I used to like one song from Exhibit that was on the soundtrack. Some people might consider it as being Oh No. Other people might consider it as front to back. But I remember listening to that song, and I would always hum the tune every time I played. Like, I didn't even have the sound effects on when I played. I just had the music on. So, I didn't have the sound effects on the game. I just had the music playing. And so because I had the music playing, I would always hum the tune of that particular song. And oh, excuse me guys, I gotta adjust my seat. This seat's fixing to slip out from under me. Alright. So anyway, I remember I would always have the song playing when I played. I didn't have any of the sound effects on or anything. So I remember since I played the game like that, I always had that tune of the song stuck in my head. So I'm always humming it every time I play the game. So it would be because the lyrics of the song were like, oh no, please stop running your mouth, let's go. And I would just hum that specific part every time I played the game. And I remember one day when I was playing it, I was humming the tune, and then out of nowhere, I stopped and I turned the game off. And then I go over to the computer desk, and I'm just sitting there humming the tune. And my grandma, she comes out from the corner. Like I mentioned, guys, I lived with my dad and my grandma. My grandparents, they live at my ranch now, so now it's me, my dad, and my stepmom and other people. Anyway, I remember I was sitting at the computer desk, and mom, she peeks her head out from the corner, and she tells me, she says, Nate, what are you doing? And when she says that, I'm in my element, so I'm not even paying attention. I'm just humming the tune. I'm like, So I'm just over there humming the tune, and then she peeks again, and this time I got my finger up and I'm doing this. Like I'm trying to move my finger along with the beat, because I knew right then that I wanted to write a song similar to that one. So she looks at me again and she goes, Nate, what are you doing? And then at that point, that's when I finally speak. I'm like, Grandma, can you give me a pen and some paper? And she said there should be paper in the printer. So I get paper, but keep in mind, this wasn't notebook paper or anything like that. It didn't have no margin. It didn't have lines on it. It was just a regular piece of white paper, white printer paper, and I had a pen. So at that point, I had my pen just like that on the paper. I didn't even write anything. It was just stuck on the paper like that, like I was fixing to write something. And I just start, where the computer desk was, it was all wide open. So of course I heard like the TV and everything, because it wasn't exactly in an office. It was in the den of our house. and you know it's wide open because you go into the front door. Because the house we had was built in 1954. Um, the house we had was built in 1954. So you go into the front door, and then you have your den when you first walk in there, and then the garage is like right here, going this way to the right, or no, to the left. Sorry, going to the left, and then you had your backyard going straight ahead. Well, when you go into the door, you take a right, and there's a giant step, right? You go up that step, and one little space is the dining room. Then the next little space is a door that leads you into the kitchen. So that's the kitchen. And then you keep going straight, and you have your living room all right here. You have your second front door right here to the left. And then you have your computer desk diagonal of that door. So it's like the first thing, you have the couch facing this way behind me. Then you have the computer desk facing this way. So the computer desk was on the opposite end of the couch, basically. It was, in other words, the computer desk was on the right armrest side of the couch. So, you know, so of course everything was wide open. I would hear if anyone was using the second front door or, you know, anything. But at that point, I was just humming the tune. Like, I kept humming the tune because I felt like I wanted to write something, but I had to get the tune in my head again. So even though everyone was doing something around me, I basically shut them out. I shut them out, and in my head, all I heard was that particular tune of the song. And then I started writing. Now, keep in mind, at this age, or at this time, I should say, at this time, I was a very young age, so I knew a little bit about rapping, but I didn't know much. I didn't know that you would have to combine words together to not only make them rhyme, but make sense as well. And, sorry guys, my throat's kind of... Okay, that's better. I didn't know that you would have to make your words make sense as well. So I'm writing, but as I'm writing, I'm just writing random words. Random words, and then I started listening to the song, like the actual song, not the tune, but the song itself. I started listening to the actual song, and then when I heard, "Oh no, please stop running your mouth, let's go," like, that's how I knew that the one rule was to make your words rhyme. He said, "Oh no, please stop running your mouth, let's go." And that's how I knew that I would have to rhyme. And then as I kept listening, it made sense to me, so then I was like, okay, not only is he rhyming, but he's making sense, so now I see what I gotta do now. So I played that tune back, and then I do the same thing again. Like, I write words, but this time they're rhyming, and I have the sequence put in order. I have the sequence and everything put in order. So then when I finish it, I eat dinner. Then when I finish that, my grandma, she tells me I might want to get some rest because we're going out to the ranch the next morning. So I go back in my room and I get ready for bed, right? And as I'm in there, I'm just looking over my song, kind of doing a revise and edit. I'm looking over my song, seeing what I want to keep and seeing what I want to change. And when I finally got it down, I just start rapping it so I can get it in my head. Like I just start rapping it, but I'm rapping it to myself to where no one can hear me. So I'm just rapping it to myself, and then finally when I got it down packed, I get my notebook, and this notebook was like a 70, maybe 80 page notebook. It was a subject notebook, but it wasn't like any of the big ones. It was a 70, maybe 80 page notebook. And this notebook didn't have anything on the pages. Every single page was completely blank. You didn't have anything written in the notebook, so it was practically empty. So I take my song and I tape it to the first page so it doesn't fall out. I tape it in there. Then I said, okay, well, maybe my family will like the song. So maybe I could take the notebook with me and I could show them my song. So we get there, and one of the nights that we're out there, we're all just kicking back. My cousins and I were chilling, and we're just joking around, conversing. Everyone's conversing, and I told them, I said, hey, I got something to show y'all. I actually wrote a song. And then my family was looking at me. They're like, what? Then I said, yeah, I wrote a song. If you guys will allow me to, I want to present it. So I pulled out my notebook and I opened the first cover, and then my song's right there on the first page, so I didn't have to flip any pages. So I flipped open the front cover, revealing my song, and I just started rapping it. And then my family, when I got done, my family was like, hey Nate, this is good, you should keep doing this. And at first I was like, nah, I don't know if I want to keep doing this, because I don't know if I'm really built for it. And then I started singing the song to myself again. And then that's when I started thinking, you know what, maybe they're right. Maybe I am built for this. Maybe I should keep doing this. So, as time went on, man, like I had notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of like lyrics written down, but not lyrics from songs that were already made. These were songs that I wrote. Like I had notebooks and notebooks and notebooks full of songs that I had already wrote. And then like sometimes at school, me and my friends, like my friends, they be like, hey man, bust a flow. So then I spit some bars and I'm just rapping. And then like songs that I listened to back at that time on the radio, I be out on the blacktop. My homeboys and I, we playing, well, not I, but my homeboys are playing basketball and I'm watching them. Or, I'm doing laps around the blacktop. And songs that I had listened to on the radio, I just started rapping. Like I started rapping those songs. And then that's how people came to know me. Now, when I started my career, of course, I didn't have a name, so I had to think of a name. And I kid you guys not, I went through about 4 to 5 different names before I got to this one. I believe my first one was Lil N, and then my second one was Nate Dizzle. My third one was Lil Neasy, and then my fourth one was Lil Sal. Um, and when I say Lil Sal, I mean Lilsal, Lil Sal, and and then this one being my fifth one. Now, the reason for so many names is because, for one, I couldn't settle on a name that I felt would fit me. And then my cousin gave me the name Lil Sal because he called my dad Big Sal. And because I'm my dad's son, that's why they call me Lil Sal. But the thing with me keeping that name was there was already, and I barely found this out a couple months ago. There's an artist out there by the name of Lil Sal, and he's done work with ASAP Rocky, and ASAP Rocky. I think he's done work with Kodak Black as well, and a few other cats. And with me being in the music industry for going on 13 years, I started learning more about the music business, the copyright laws and what you can't do and what you can do within the industry. And, I remembered the copyright laws, like I said. So, I started thinking to myself, if I were to continue using this name, and the artist that has this name found out about it, I can get into a lot of trouble. I can go to jail for copyright infringement. And, to avoid any trouble like that, I changed my name to Offset Nate. Now, that's the only thing that I changed was my name. My style and the way that I do my music, that didn't change. The only thing that changed was my name. And then like I said, I'm going on 13 years, man. Sometime within 2019, I can't remember exactly when I started, but I know it was in 2019. It will be 13 years that I've been doing this. So, yeah, that's how Offset Nate came to be, and that's how I became who I am. So, if you guys want to follow me and you want to support me, support ASAP Vrillo or Lift High Entertainment, just basically all of us. You could follow me on Instagram at Offset, and that's OFFSET_NATE. You could follow me on Twitter at Offset Nate, and the O is capitalized and the N is capitalized, so it's capital O FFSET capital NATE. And you could also, I don't usually give this one out because this is not really related to my music. This is just my personal one. But if you want to add me on Snapchat, you could do so at Savage Nate 713, and that is SAVAGE_NATE 713. And of course, those of y'all that watch my YouTube channel, be sure to subscribe to this channel, because I'm gonna have more live videos like this one, and I'm also gonna be posting my music onto my onto this channel. And also, if you haven't seen my playlist, Offset Nate the Preview EP, that just came out on December 1st. So it's been out for at least a week already. That came out December 1st. So if you want to check that out, go ahead and check that out. Just go to my channel and look for the playlist Offset Nate the Preview EP, and you'll find it. There's like 7 tracks on there. And yeah, just stay up to date with us, man. Stay up to date. I got a lot of music coming. And ASAP Vrillo, he's a real good friend of mine, but he's a up and coming rapper. So I'm helping him out. And eventually we're gonna have a collab tape. Me and him, we're gonna come together and make a tape for the label. So just stay tuned. We got a lot of stuff coming for y'all, and yeah. Until next time, y'all, stay real. Offset Nate, Lift High Entertainment. Salute.